2013 will be when brands really have to wake up to the fact that they need to pay to access, people on social media and really involve, really spend media money to actually to support their owned and earned activity.
One of the things that we're really interested in is social TV, and so the sort of layering of digital functionality and capabilities over what you would call more sort of traditional broadcast kind of models.
2013 is going to be very much about launching our own IP, having been a service agency for kind of nearly 10 years now.
And then combining social and film together, which is actually kind of where we, I think, going as an agency. It's TV ads 2.0 almost, what's the next kind of format we can go to try and tell that story and engage those people?
We're going to be seeing a lot more of brands coming up with campaigns or advertising that's really not advertising, is creating experience that will help people to do something better.
For 2013, I think we're seeing a lot of smarter companies realizing that they have permission to be even more ambitious than they thought, and you'll see that everyone's really starting to move into this a much more rapid, iterative model of the things that they're bringing to market.
People are smarter than they were 5 years ago about campaigns, especially about campaigns online. I think as brands sort of wise up and see, actually, if we go and give a genuine connection, whether that's through a learning app, a brand, something that I can really follow and I'm going to get something out of, but it's not a campaign. It doesn't last for 2 months and die away.
We're going to start to see a lot more retailers starting to do, I guess, digital in-store, as the battle for the high street, as they call it, intensifies. We're going to start to see a lot more, a lot more digital in-store, be that touchscreen kiosks, be that Wi-Fi, be that apps, be that augmented reality. All those kinds of things are really going to start to come into their own this year.
The meeting in the middle between the sort of luxury brands in terms of Apple's offerings and the extremely budget offerings of the $40 tablets that will be coming through quite quickly, the complete commoditization of the hardware, and the point where the uses really transcend technology. We just get into the point where everybody will have one, and it's going to be very empowering, I think.
What's been really interesting over the past year is really looking at the way in which children are engaging with mobile technology. They're so used to touchscreens that using a mouse can be quite challenging. So I imagine that 2013 will continue the trend that we've seen in 2012, which has been to find that a lot more of the business's creative output is focused on touchscreen tablets and smartphones.
The arrival of the iPad mini is definitely going to change the market. We'll see whether the tablets from Google and Samsung particularly, and perhaps the Kindle Fire as well, although they don't have as large a distribution. I think that definitely Android is definitely going to come into play next year, but given the amount of people who are arriving to iOS devices, I think that the scale of the numbers will start to really swing in the favour of tablet devices and mobile next year.
From a technology point of view, I think we're going to focus on the Windows platform, Surface, and just see if it takes any traction. So Microsoft have been kind of like hedging their bets on that platform for the last 12, 24 months even. And it's now finally come to fruition.
The challenge is for everyone is that we've got so many different platforms that it's trying to find the glue that connects them all. And I think that's all about going back to the basic principles of what we had before, simple ideas, engaging concepts that tell a story that's really compelling. So I don't think it's about trying to look for future platforms that are interesting, like MySpace that's just come out again. It's about using those platforms just intelligently and not trying to chase the next piece of technology.
It'll be about how people work with those channels, and not just about the data they collect from them, but the intelligence and the insight that it gives, which enable them to sort of move forward and create more personal experiences and more intelligent experiences, I suppose.
The next generation of innovation, I think, is going to see service providers knowing much more about the real things which consumers want.
Yeah.
And that's enabled because that mobile handset knows who you are.
Yeah, and I mean, today we hear so much around big data and being able to pull all this data in together, but it's not so much about this big data, it's about the reactive data. What can you do with it? Because
That's
if it's not fast, it's going to turn people off. And so that for me is 2013.